Okay, now Wendy, let's talk.
Hello. The big winner last night was Beyonce. She won the Fashion Icon Award. So this is your fashion icon, everyone. This is your icon. Now, Beyonce's really great, and I hate when the beehive gets all stingalicious on me. Clap if you see Beyonce as a fashion icon. Okay.
Terrible.
Suzanne!
That's terrible.
Let me show you the head to toe.
It's the worst outfit I've ever seen.
Show me. This coming from a woman in a wrinkled blouse and a denim skirt. No, you look cute. Rough weekend, Suzanne?
What?
Rough weekend? I'm playing, you look cute. That's the great thing about working, you know, on shows and like in radio and stuff. You can dress any way you want when you go to work. It's got to be fun for the entire... No, it's cute. I said it's cute. It is fancy. Iced tea and cocoa. And we found out that Coco and Iced Tea had the very big fight. Remember this part, I'm catching you up to speed, after the racy photos that surfaced. This one in particular that I'm talking about is with the rapper AP9. Coco denied cheating with AP9, and Ice said that their marriage is stronger than ever. But now there's this disgusting 2-page expose, and it's pointing everything, including 10 guilty fingers, to Coco.
First, we're gonna start with Tommy Williams.
Feeling crazy right now. Wendy, this video's for you. Unfortunately, I just got off the phone with Daddy. Didn't watch the movie this morning. Didn't watch the show, I'm sorry, this morning. But he watched it this evening. Very upset, very disappointed, naturally. Really, this shouldn't be happening. It's crazy right now. Absolutely crazy. I asked you one question. Why didn't you go to the funeral? Why couldn't you call Daddy and let him know why? Why couldn't you, if it was that serious, if it was that much of a stance, then what was the problem? I was there when you came in on that night of the dawning of the wake. And you told us, you told Daddy that you had to race back to New York, handle business. You were only going to be in town for the viewing. We didn't even know. He didn't even know. I mean, it doesn't matter if I knew or not. Your father didn't even know that you were in town for the funeral, and you're out eating lunch with your ex and your son.
Okay. Now let's discuss Tommy. Tommy is the kind of relative that basically hunts after the person who has the fame because they have the fame. Tommy is Wendy Williams' brother, and a lot has been talked about regarding the relationship with these two. But the facts haven't been presented regarding what has been said. So I'm going to drop a few facts of my own, and you tell me what you think about it, okay? Okay. Tommy Williams, first of all, let's start with the fact that Before he ever tries to make the argument that he's not jealous of Wendy Williams and all of the extra knickknacks that he wants to try to say, every other video on his page is about Wendy Williams. Exhibit A. Okay? Now, that's the first thing. The second thing is, the thing that stuck out, the public situation that stuck out to me the most was when her mother passed away. Now, Wendy went on her show to talk about how she went to the funeral and it was in Miami and all of that good stuff, yada, yada, yada. Tommy goes on YouTube to then discuss that Wendy Williams had never attended the funeral. And this is what he had to say. Now, Wendy, of course being Wendy, went on her show.
Tristan, have you seen this nonsense my brother's been putting on the internet? Do you clap if you all know what I'm talking about? No, clap like you mean it. You know things? You know things?
I know things. I'm all on the internet.
Well, honey, Tristan plugged both my phones, and then I was like, bye. I didn't even need Tristan. Tommy, let me tell you something right now. All you are is my brother. You better stop talking the way you're talking, because now it's dripping into my comment page. See, I wasn't searching for Tommy. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was simply looking about how people felt about last week's shows, or the dresses, or the guests we had on. We do a nice production here. I'm minding my own wendyshow.com business.
Right.
And I'm seeing a lot of comments about your brother doesn't like you, or you better watch your back because your brother's on one. Or, Wendy, I can't believe you're this kind of person, or that he's pegging me to be a person that I am not. Honey, you don't want me to start pegging you to be the person that you are.
Once she got whiff of what was being said, because of course, this particular YouTube video that he had blew up, okay? And that is something else that goes into the YouTube numbers as well. Like, a lot of people don't really realize about YouTube is you could have 40K subscribers on YouTube and your video only get 600 views. Like, you know, you can, it's really up to YouTube what happens with your video. And just like Instagram can shadow ban you, YouTube can shadow ban you too. But that's another conversation for another day. But anyways, I truly believe that, and then, like, before I jump to that point, I truly believe that Tommy is really a mama's and daddy's boy. Like, he's really, like, you can see, as you saw and what he said in his video, he saw what Wendy said on TV about him not going to the funeral and all of this, because she addressed him once before the reaction, or before the response that I showed you. She addressed him once. So, I mean, Tommy is just really a weird ass brother to have. Like, I see what a lot of sisters say, like, and why they call their brothers weird and all of the things, because that was some weird ass shit, okay? To do to your own sister regarding your mother's passing. On a platform where you have thousands of followers. And this is the thing. He tends to use Wendy Williams' name to say he has so many opinions about Wendy Williams. Bring back Exhibit A. To say he has so many opinions about Wendy Williams, he uses her name for clout. He uses her name to try to gain subscribers, because if Wendy didn't sit on her show and say that she had a brother, nobody would know who Tommy Williams is. Nobody would know who this man is. What does he do for a living? Wendy is the breadwinner in this family, and just like him, her parents did somewhat of the same thing. But I'm going to get to her parents in a moment. But her parents did somewhat of the same thing. This whole treating her like shit behind closed doors and tearing her down any chance you get, but you want to be in front of the camera when it comes on. You want to be acknowledged as, oh, the brother, and oh, the parents, and anytime she's getting acknowledged for something, you got to be the first one there, and all of that stuff is just so like greedy to me. You tore her down as a person, and you still try to tear her down even as a person that's doing better than you. And that would be your sister. But anyways, he's denied this week. Of course, I figured you'd already know that he'd be denied this week. Moving right on to Kevin.
What a stupid gorilla. Kevin had gone to LA for business. And I hired a PI. Yes, I did. I hired a PI to follow my husband. And this guy is telling me that Kevin is in Miami with the girl. This is where you show the picture of them on the beach. You know the picture where she's going to the camera and he's laying there on the cell phone like they're chilling like a couple. You understand what I'm saying? The PI was taking pictures of them going to the gym, going to dinner, her with Gucci, Poochie, and Lucci. And I was Googling, and I'm seeing like the Daily Mail did an excellent job. Like bloggers were doing a great job. And so, this backwoods Barbie, he was tricking up money. She's in the passenger seat of my Rolls Royce Ferrari. And really? Really? And I read about it in the blogs and the tabloids, the address of this place that he had purchased to share with this backwoods bitch. 9 miles from my house in Livingston. What do you do when you find out your marriage is about to be all the way over?
Kevin Hunter. Now, this is the part of video right here where I'm really about to read this man, because just like I posted on my Instagram. If you follow my Instagram plug. If you follow my Instagram and you've seen the videos that I posted this week, I spoke on this. Okay, I've been waiting for this moment because I've seen a lot of blogs. I've seen a lot of channels on YouTube. I've seen a lot of fucking everybody talking about this man and giving their opinion on this man and all type of stuff. And I have never had the chance to give my opinion on my platform regarding this man. So here I am doing it right now. Okay? Now, first of all, let's talk about the fact that, okay, him and Wendy has a child. Let's get all the sappy shit out of the way. Him and Wendy has a child. They got married. They were young. She was in love. He was in love. He executive produced her show. She let him. Let's get all that sappy shit out of the way. Let's get down to the nitty gritty and what you don't know regarding this divorce, okay? Now, there was a lot that has been done and said regarding Wendy and Kevin, okay? On down to him potentially beating on her, on down to verbal abuse, on down to stealing her money, on down to just the most scandalous of things that you can think of, okay? But the ultimate scandal that you can possibly pull on your wife is not only cheating on her, but having a child behind her back with another woman. You not only had a child behind her back with another woman, you put her in a house. You were driving your wife's Rolls Royce around with your mistress in it, letting the mistress behind the wheel of your wife's Rolls Royce, Jaguar, and whatever else y'all had in your garage. And you figured that she wouldn't find out. Okay. Now, the whole way that Wendy publicized the whole divorce and the press that she gave over it, everything was nice. I thought everything was appropriate for what it had gave, okay? It was supposed to give all of that. But what people kind of brushed over that isn't being talked about right now is the details of this divorce. And I'm about to give you some key points that I found to be very, very questionable regarding this divorce. Okay. Pull out my paper. Starting with a servant's package. She gave him a servant's package based on the years that he had worked on the show. First of all, this is your wife. What work? You are her executive producer. Okay? Denmark Mercury are her executive producers also. And they run the show. So what would your job title have necessarily been? No, she put you on payroll because you were her husband. And you needed a goddamn job. Because you had none. So you shouldn't have got a servant's package. Even if you had worked. You're helping your wife pay the bills. Substantially. Right? Right. Let's continue. She gave him $250,000 towards a new home. First of all, he wouldn't have got a motherfucking thing. $250,000 towards a new home when he was taking cars out of your home and bringing them to another woman's home. He took that same woman that he cheated on you with and put her in a home, and you want to give him $250,000 to find one of his own?
You what?
Make it make sense for me. Okay, moving right along. She wanted to include in the divorce, right, that he had a child on her. But the reason why she couldn't include in the divorce that he had a child on her and that he had cheated on her was because it would have put all of the previous two things that I just read to you and all of any future other things that she would have possibly agreed to giving him in the divorce in jeopardy. So she couldn't go in there and mention that he cheated on her and had a baby because she would have won the divorce, no doubt. But Kevin has nothing to win, which is why Wendy, being the breadwinner, has to come out of her pocket with even more money, right? So that was another fucked up thing. Let's go on to the $1 million life insurance policy that she left him the beneficiary of. Wendy Williams left this man $1 million towards her life insurance policy. So if Wendy died today or tomorrow, he would get $1 million. But the objective to that is Wendy can control how much the value of the life insurance policy is. So he's not really gaining or losing anything if she can change the price. But the price right now is $1 million fucking dollars. For a man that has cheated on you and had a kid. For a man that had his mistress driving your cars. Yeah. The last thing that stood out to me within this divorce settlement was that she's covering all of his medical bills. Still to this day, divorced and all, if Kevin goes to the hospital for a broken leg, a broken toe, a broken finger, a broken fucking fingernail, okay? Wendy Williams will cover his medical bills. For what? I understand that's your husband and your ex-husband and all of that stuff, that he's the father of your son, all of that stuff, all of that is fine. But this man cheated on you. He couldn't even buy you a new house, but he went and bought another woman a new house. And you're still on the back end covering him. She left him all of the businesses, all of the assets, all of that shit. The only thing she kept was all of the money from the marriage that they had both accumulated. What he got and what she got and what they got together. She kept all of it. He kept everything else. Wendy Williams didn't really gain much in this divorce. She really lost a lot, and she's still losing a lot. But ultimately, she came out on the better end of it, and things are looking better for her versus him. Now, of course, Kevin is going to be denied because this is just a prime example of why you shouldn't get married if you don't feel like you're going to be all of your life invested. You see, people take vows and they get married. They be married for 25, 30 years, whatever. And sometimes marriage isn't meant to go the distance. But I feel like from the beginning, if you don't plan to go the distance or work things out to at least go the distance and be where you want to be the goals that like people claim that they want to see and other people have that they want, then why is this like, and then this wasn't something that played out in private, this was something that played out publicly. Wendy had been on break 4 months. 4 months. When all of this shit hit the fan. So all of this was already happening all of this was already happening publicly. When she was still on break, she hadn't even returned to her own show. I don't know what Kevin was thinking, but we're going to go ahead and give him a deny in this situation, like I said. But, yeah. Hopefully him and his girlfriend, mistress, whoever she want to be, and the daughter, I think her name is Journey. I wish him the best. But you're not going to gain anything from cheating on your wife. So, yeah, move right on over to her parents.
We're on the Wendy watch all the time. Whenever there's a show on, our friends know not to call us.
And so,
because our whole schedule revolves around the show.
But now that you're retired, you've loosened up a little bit, you take the dinner trays into the living room,
Yes,
is that right?
yes.
And Daddy, you sit in the lazy boy?
Right there by the television.
Yes. And you sit?
And every television is on in the house.
Yes.
Because if I have to leave, Daddy sets up the snack trays. I make the salad in advance.
You make the salad and eat that during Hot Topics. Didn't
That's
you tell me
right.
that yesterday?
During Hot Topics.
We have everything perfectly
and then
timed.
everything is timed. So that I go in, I run in. I run in to get the salad, then I run back between Hot Topics. And then between the commercials, I know exactly when the commercials are coming on. I put the salmon in the oven. I put the salmon in the broiler, so I know it has to broil for 7 minutes. And then I come back. Salmon and vegetables were very, very healthy.
Okay, now discussing her parents. Wendy Williams has a complex relationship with her parents, okay? Now, the relationship that they share with each other is kind of... and that's because Wendy is, or was, the outcast child amongst the 3 children. Wendy's brother Tommy and her sister Wanda. Wendy was like the outcast child. Wendy was fat shamed by her parents. She was basically taught to be something and somebody that she really wasn't. And ultimately she still came out and did her own thing, regardless of what her parents taught her to do or wanted her to do. This is why it's good to follow your own path, because sometimes your parents will push you in a direction that they want you to go when your life is really headed in a whole other direction that's going to lead you towards success. To take care of your parents. You don't need to sit back and beat yourself up for a decision that you made. And a lot of the stuff that they did, Wendy, this is why I just mentioned them earlier. A lot of stuff that they did, Wendy, is really not reflective of the relationship they have with Wendy now. Because a lot of the stuff that they did, only Wendy speaks on. Wendy speaks on how they fat shamed her. Wendy speaks on how they did all of that. And Wendy is the middle child out of them. She speaks on all of that, and it's been countless times where she spoke on that on their show, on her show, and they had nothing to say. This is what you don't hear Tommy Williams speaking on. You see what I'm saying? But he grew up in the same house. But he has something to say about that. So for me, that's why I say it's a lot of this just doesn't really make sense, because it's giving me that people just want to be in her limelight, but they didn't work for it. You didn't earn that. Like, okay, Wendy is kind of being the bigger person of it all, because she's looking at it like, okay, that's my family, that's my brother, that's my sister, this is everybody that I love. I'm going to look out for everybody, which most families do that. But, like, sometimes you have to really sit back and analyze some of the stuff that people do and say. in regards to you. A lot of that stuff could have took Wendy out a long time ago. If she wasn't strong-skinned and tough-willed and all of that stuff, Wendy could have lost her mind a long time ago. Okay? And what parent sits up and tells that to a little girl, their little girl at that, who already has self-esteem issues, who already is trying to grow up and live comfortably amongst other kids, going to school and being bullied for being too tall, being bullied for her appearance, being bullied for all of this stuff. No, Wendy is not innocent. She talk about everybody and their mama, but that still doesn't mean that as a child she deserves something like that from whomever it might have been. You see what I'm saying? Her parents especially, though. Now, this week I'm going to give them VIP. And I'm only going to give them VIP just based off the fact that before Wendy's mother passed away, they had been working on their relationship with Wendy for years. They were a work in progress. I give them that much. They were definitely a work in progress. But at no point while she was alive did they ever address the shit that they put Wendy through. They kind of brushed past that, but they kind of never... And not only that, they try to get on national television and put Wendy on a pedestal now that she has a show and she's taking care of them financially and all of this and all of that. But you can't even address the trauma that you put this lady through. You're willing to get up and stand in front of a camera to try to make your child look like the best thing ever when she's sitting here making you look like one of the most horrible parents in the world because of how you treated her as a child. And on countless occasions why they try to sit up and say, oh, well, it was like this and I always loved Wendy and she sit up and be like, it wasn't like that when I was a kid, but okay. And they never took time out to address that. And the only reason why, I'm going to say it again, the only reason why they got VIP this week is because she and them were a work in progress. But more so them were a work in progress on the relationship that they had with Wendy. And they, just bouncing back for a second before I end the video, just bouncing back for a second to Tommy, even if Wendy had decided not to go to the funeral, that's her business. That's her business. She might not want to go for her own reasoning. But who and or what gives you the right to try to get on social media to try to make your sister look some type of way, and you never even took time out to ask her, okay, what was the reason why this happened? We don't know what happened. We weren't even there. But you got up there, you literally got on social media and made this story about how Wendy had to get back to New York and all of this extra stuff. Like, come on. Come on. Come on. But that's it for this week. Thank you for watching. I was shadow banned. They had shadow banned me to foreign lands. I was shadow banned, but I'm back. I'm back. Make sure y'all go watch that Cardi B episode because it's really good. It's really nice. It's really a sequel leading up to this right here. But next week, we're going to get even more deeper in some tea and more deeper in some opinions regarding R. Kelly and that situation. So R. Kelly versus the People is next week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share. Tell me what you think. Give me your opinion on how I feel. And like I always say, start your own show. And I'll support your show and I'll give my opinion as well on how you feel. But yeah, and if you support what I'm saying, and you like what I'm saying, and if you support my show, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for my notifications. And also, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that like button. But thank you for watching.